Good morning, everyone. Look who's with me.
Yay!
Hello, my name is Sarah Simon. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Appleton, Wisconsin. And with me is Kathy
Kathy!
Miller.
Woohoo!
Some of you know Kathy. Some of you found me through Kathy, so I have her to thank. But Kathy is joining me today because she'd like to get back to doing some of her live videos again. And so she is in the studio with me today. She is going to be watching all of the comments. And if there are questions that come up, she's either going to let me know that there were
Mhm.
comment or there were questions, or she will answer some of them if she knows the answer to some of them. It's really hard when you're stamping and you're trying to focus on your stamping, and then all kinds of questions come up and you miss them. I know I missed a couple last week about the that color wheel, and thankfully there were a couple of demonstrators on here who ended up answering those questions for me, so thank you for those of you that did that. But Kathy's going to watch today and kind of see how I run the studio here. So thank you, Kath.
Yay!
And we need to congratulate her. She had a huge accomplishment this week. Kathy, tell them what happened.
I hit my $300,000 in personal sales! Yay!
Kathy and I are partners in this stamping
Mhm.
game, and we celebrate each other. So she
Yeah,
celebrated when I hit 200,000. So I
yeah.
wanted to celebrate when she hit her
Aw,
300,000. So awesome job, Kathy. All right,
yay.
I'm gonna put the camera on me. Kathy's gonna stay in the background,
Yep.
and she's gonna be watching the comments. And I have the comments on right now too. But I'm gonna show you some of the fun mail that I received this week. So here I am. Kathy's still back there. So look at yesterday morning, I was getting ready for work and our kids didn't have school yesterday because it was a comp day for teachers because they had conferences this week. And so I wasn't as early getting into work, and all of a sudden my doorbell rang, and here one of my new team members, Donna, was at my door. She had made a card and she wanted to drop it off to make sure it didn't get lost in the mail. I can see why, because wait till you see this card. So this is the outside of it. She said it's called a pop-up fun fold card. Ready? Wait for it. Here comes the inside. What? Look at
Oh, that
that.
is
And
so
it
cute.
stands up on your, I can show you on my desk, but it stands up and it has that fun pop out. So great job, Donna, on that card. All right. Then I also received, I think it was right after my live, I went out and got my mail last Saturday, and this fun card was there from one of my customers, Sarah. Look at
Oh,
that. It's so cute, Sarah. What an adorable card. Oh, it looks like we've got a Facebook user on this morning. It just says Facebook user. It doesn't say whose name. So I don't know if that's going to be, this is the first time I'm trying going to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, all right. And then look at this. This is from Tammy Litsky. Tammy's on Kathy's team. And she sent this beautiful thank you card. She had won a prize and she was thanking me for that prize that she won. Is that not the cutest? So thank you all for your happy mail. I really, really, really appreciate it. It's always nice going to the mailbox and getting something other than at the time it was political ads and bills and all of that kind of stuff. To have that happy mail is always so nice. All right. I think I need to give some prizes away from last week. So, last week we played around with that Happy Hibiscus set that is a new online exclusive. And we mixed up the colors, but basically did the same card that they demonstrated or they had as a sample on the Stampin' Up! Website. And then we also played with that I think it was called Yuletide Village, and we did that church. And this was a fun fold that opened like so. All right. And then we made our hot cocoa holder with the pocket thoughts. And today our 3D item is also going to come from our pocket thoughts. So this is going to be the peppermint hot cocoa. And then today we're going to be making a little Hershey nugget. So receiving these for commenting last week is Jean Maxwell. I think I saw Jean on here. I'm pretty sure I saw Jean on here. So Jean, I will be sending these your way. I have your address because you filled out the Google form when I did my World Card Making Day. So I will make sure that you get these. I think you're in Arizona. If I remember, I looked it up online. And then, where did here we go. Took too much. Then for sharing. So anytime you share, make sure that you put share in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube. It looks like the Facebook users, I'm not going to get your names here, but when I go back to Facebook, I'm sure I'm going to be able to see who you are. It just says Facebook user right now for me. So on the comments that are here, but at least we'll get your questions. So receiving a pack of these brand new adhesive back heart sequins. Look at those sparkle. And they are super flat. So they will go through the mail. And you can't see them, but there's a smaller one there's 3 different sizes. So receiving these for sharing. So anytime you share, mark that you shared, and I do put it into a drawing, is Marva Dehaney, I think is what it is. Marva, I do not have your address. So if you could send me a private message either in Facebook or you could email me at createwithsarahllc@gmail.com, I would really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much for all of you who shared. And then I have all of the names. I have them right here. I had 5 people who placed orders this last week. And I will put all of your names into a drawing. You will win the Sentimental Wishes stamp set for your order. And if you place an order and that order is under $150, this is my current host code. It's different than last week. If you would please use that host code, that helps me to get all of these prizes that I can give away. If you are over $150, you get the benefits yourself. So I want you to keep those yourself. So receiving this, we're going to do a drum roll, and I'm going to go ahead and pick. So they're right here in my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and whoops, I don't want to drop one. I'm going to pick one. And our winner today is, I like to do this one live, Nancy Hippis. So Nancy, thank you for your order. And I will get this off in the mail to you, or I'll get it to my mom to give to you if you guys are going out anytime soon. Nancy is a friend of my mom's. So, all right. Oh, and I forgot to share this other thing. I got this in the mail yesterday. Look at this cute little bag. It was in a box. And on the outside, it says, "You did it, 200,000." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went and opened it up, and it was like a little money bag. And inside of it were 100 grand and another 100 grand for my 200,000. Is that not the cutest? This came from, so my upline is Kelly Atchison, and her upline is Ann Hubner. And this came from Ann. Ann is out in, I think, the Hortonville area, Greenville, Hortonville area. And she sent this to congratulate me on that. It was so cute. So thank you, Ann. I don't know. Let's see. For some reason, my iPad is not posting, but people are commenting from YouTube, so I must be live on YouTube. It's just not wanting to pop up for me, so
Yep. Cute.
it's still saying upcoming. So I think people are on YouTube because you're making comments. So I don't know why I just can't get it open on my iPad. So Kathy's watching comments for me, so we're good. All right, let's take this off. I'm gonna switch my cameras again. There's Kathy. I'm gonna switch this over here. And I'm going to make this my main screen so we can start stamping. I'm going to turn my overhead light off. I get less shadows that way if I don't have that overhead light on. So Today we're going to start with a masculine birthday card. Doesn't everybody always need masculine birthday cards? I do. And sometimes they're really, really hard to come up with. And so we're going to be using actually a Christmas site or a Christmas stamp set or dies. But we're going to be, okay, I'm on the wrong thing here. I'm still trying to find this on my YouTube channel, but since Kathy's got comments, I think I'm just going to forget about trying to get there. Oh, let's see here. There we go. I think I'm live now, but I got to turn this down. All right, I can see myself. I was on the wrong link. All right, so we are going to do a masculine card. We're going to be using these reindeer dies. These are so cute. They're so stinking cute. So we're going to be using these three. I'm not using the stamp set at all. I'm going to be using some stamps from the, I think it's called Round We Go or something like that. Round.
Yep.
Is that what it's called, Kathy?
Yes, round we
Round
go.
We Go. Yeah, Round We Go. So we're going to be using the birthday stamps out of that. All right. So our card pieces or the things that we will need for this. Let me get the measurements up here for you. I have them in the wrong order here. So we'll go ahead and here's where these start. There we go. So our card base is going to be pecan pie. That's a very masculine color, right? It's 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4.25. I have another piece of pecan pie that's 4.25 by 5.5. And I ran this through our timber embossing folder because I think that I wanted it to get kind of a woodsy feel because we're going to be using those deer. And basically this is just going to go right over the top of it. I do not like to emboss my card base. I feel like it weakens it a little bit. Okay, good. Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah.
I think that it weakens the base if I end up embossing it. And so I'm going to go ahead and just cut another layer to put right over the top of it, and that's going to be embossed. Okay, I have this is early espresso, and this measures 4 by 2.75. I have a basic beige. Remember we said basic beige is becoming my new favorite color. I'm using it again. This is 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. And again, if you're a person who doesn't like 1/8 of an inch, cut this one at the size that I did this one and cut that one just 1/4 of an inch more. This one you can't, actually, you know what? That wouldn't work. Your borders would just be a little bit bigger on that. That one kind of has to be 1/8 of an inch if you use the rest of the dimensions now that I think of it. All right, this is some of that autumn paper that we've used a couple of times. This is 1 5/8 by 2.5. And then this is the other side. And this is 2 by 1 5/8. And then I have a piece of old olive that measures 2 by 3/4. And then for the inside, I have some basic beige that measures 4 by 5.25. And then I have a little piece of my DSP that's 1/2 inch by 5.25 that'll go on the inside as well. I also have die cut. There are 3 dies in that. So I wanted the antlers of my deer. I think I called them, what did I call them last time? I can't remember, but these are antlers. I want the antlers to be in the early espresso. And then this is for like the color that's on the inside of the ears and makes part of the eyes. And then the outside of my deer, I cut in that pecan pie. So I'm just using those 3 shades of brown, kind of, to make my little deer. Isn't he cute? Okay, so this is kind of like for the hunter in your family. And it's like I said, it's going to be a birthday card. And this is going to be for my envelope, which we'll do at the end. All right, let's do our stamping so that we get that done. And then we will put the rest of the card together. So I need this piece right here. and I need my inside to do my stamping. So Round We Go is the stamp set that we're using, where I'm finding these greetings from. And I'm using Early Espresso ink. And on this little piece of Old Olive, we are going to stamp the happiest birthday. Let me take this banner off here. Okay, so we're going to stamp this happiest birthday. See if I can get it straight, having to stamp over the top of my camera. Oh, I did a pretty good job. All right, then on the inside, we're going to stamp This Is Your. And there's different words that you can use with this stamp. There's This Is Your Day, This Is Your Month, or This Is Your Year. We're going to use year, right? Okay, so we're going to pretend that this is a big year birthday or something for someone, and we're going to say, This is your year. And I'm going to use the word year. I'm going to stamp in my Old Olive. Okay, so this is your year. That could be day, month, whatever you want it to say. We are done with our stamping, and we are ready to put this really quick layout together. I love layout cards. When I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, I look for a layout, and that's what I did last night. This is the card that I made last night. All the other cards I had made, or the other projects I had done already, and this one I was still doing last night. And Kathy and I talk about this all the time. We are both more productive when we have to design in the morning when our mind is fresh than we are after we've worked all day and had the stresses of the day. Things just come together better in the morning. My glue seems to be stuck here. Than it does at night. I'm going to just use my, here we go. I have a little pin I'll pull out, and because I do want to use that later for my embossing folder. So what I did was, a person that I know that gives a lot of different layouts is Jackie Bullheis. And so I went to Jackie's YouTube channel, and she has a little series that she does with her husband, which is so cute. If any of you have ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. They do a little thing together where she has a layout and he puts a sample together of that layout. So he's gluing all the stuff and she's telling him where to put it together, and she gives you the dimensions so you can make a little template of that layout. And it's so darn cute. And so I went there and I'm like, okay, Jackie, you need to inspire me tonight. And so I found this layout there and decided this is a quick and easy layout that we could use. So I'm just going to layer this paper, the designer paper. I'm putting this bigger one on the left-hand side. And then the other pattern I'm putting on the upper right.
Whoops, we just got a comment, Sarah, asking what stamp set that is, and I'm assuming she's referring to the sentiments.
The sentiments,
yep. Round We Go on page 63 in the annual catalog.
Thank you, Kathy. Yep. See, I love it when people she's helping me with that. All right, and then our happiest birthday is just going to go down here. Okay, so I'm just going to layer that, and it's just making a cute little background that includes my greeting. And then I'm going to layer that.
I love that.
To this early espresso. Our deer head, so it's not Christmas colors or anything, is just going to go right in there when we're all done. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab, I think I have a pin here that I want to stick in my glue.
You know, Sarah, when you were talking earlier about if they didn't like the 1/8 inch margin, they could just make their espresso a little larger, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you could make your early espresso just a little bit larger if you wanted to. But see, this was already in 1/8 of an inch. Yep. So if you made, so the one that was in the 1/8 of an inch was the basic beige. So that one, because it uses all of these, you almost have to have it in the basic beige unless you're okay with making the border around it just a little bit bigger. So these borders are really, really small right now. So if you added 1/8 of an inch on there to make this, instead of, let me see what my dimensions were. So my dimensions were 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. So if I made it 4 by 2 3/4, which is what the brown was, if I made it 2, it was just going to leave a little bit bigger border around everything.
Mhm.
Okay, so there'd be more space here, there'd be more space on either side. But then you would have to up the early espresso to 4 1/4 by 3. It would just, you'd have to just bump that up a little bit too.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking that. All right, let's see if I can get this glue. We're going to put glue on the back of here. I can't find my pins right now. You know, I cleaned my desk and I didn't want to have as much clutter on my desk. So I took a whole bunch of stuff off my desk and now I can't find where I put the stuff that was on my desk. Oh, here's one. I just like taking a little tack and getting some of that dried glue. See, I'm pulling some of that dried glue out of there. I had my cover on, but last night I had it open for quite a while. So there we go. Now it's flowing. Now we're getting some. Oh, now I got too much. Just wipe that off. This is live. We do have little mistakes when we go live. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set that on there. I just love how these 3 pieces of this deer head go together. I'm just going to use some of the stuff that's on my finger here.
And I like, Sarah, that, like, you know, with most Christmas sets, it's like they're reindeer and not like deer, whereas this looks like a truly
Yes.
like a buck. You know what I mean?
Yep, it does. It looks like a buck and you could use it like
Mhm.
this for a masculine card.
Yep.
I have a lot of liquid glue on here right now. I've got to find something to wipe my finger on. Don't have a wipe right nearby. There we go. Piece of paper will do. All right, and I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Let me get my Stampin' Dimensionals here. Oops, I got a few left. Go here and here. Get a few little ones. And we're just going to pop that up right in that bigger section to the left. It's just going to go right there. Isn't that cute? Like a nice masculine card. All right, so we'll add our little bit of, we've got our embossed layer, which adds just a little bit of texture to the card. So it's plain, but it has the texture. You could also, so the one that Jackie showed when she did this, she used the coffee set and she took the little coffee rings and she stamped those all across her background to give it a little bit of something as well. All right, I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals.
Oh, I love that.
And now we've got to cut. Use up all parts of your dimensionals. Don't let anything left on this little sheet. This all works the same as the little, what are those, hexagon pieces. So make sure you use them all up. Why do I put so many dimensionals on? I find that if I don't, when they go through those readers, like the machines at the post office, if it's not like balanced and it's like high in some areas and lower in some areas, it just doesn't hold up as nicely. So if I put a few more, make sure that I have some in the center, when it pushes it down to go through that machine, it's all pretty level. Look at that cute little deer.
So
All
cute.
right, these are our pecan pie and clear. They're called ribboned adhesive, and they have just a little bit of sparkle. And I don't want to add a lot because, like I said, this is a masculine card, but these are very, very, I think they're just kind of plain and they're nice and flat, so they're not going to cost me anything to go through the mail. And I'm just going to add a little bit to the corner down here, just to add just a little bit of sparkle to it, even though it is a masculine card. The other thing that sometimes I like to add is a little bit of linen thread or baker's twine, but I didn't feel like this card really needed that anywhere because I thought just the deer by itself and the happy birthday. So this card is going to be going, well, I have one that I made for my sample, and that's going to be going to my nephew whose birthday is this week with a little gift card in it. So they're when they get older and they're out on their own now, it's like I don't know what to buy you anymore, so you're just going to get a gift card because you usually like that anyway. So I got a gift card to a restaurant near where he lives, and he and his girlfriend can go out to dinner on Aunt Sarah. I'm his godmother, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of glue to the flap here. And I cut this so that I can't do the trees because they're going the wrong way. So I have a little, there we go. And we'll put this here. And go ahead and cut that off.
Debbie was asking what DSP that was from.
Yeah, this is the Autumn.
Autumn to Remember.
Yes. It's an online exclusive.
In
So
the
you're not going to
scrapbook.
find it in a catalog. So if you shop the online exclusives, that's where you can get that from. Thanks, Kathy.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's our little deer birthday card for one of the men in our lives or women. I know some women that do a lot of hunting as well. In fact, my upline Kelly goes hunting for bears, she goes hunting for deer, all kinds of things. So that is our card number one, just for something a little bit different that you could do if you have these reindeer dies. It doesn't have to just, like Kathy said, doesn't have to just be for Christmas. It can be something that you can use throughout the year and it makes that last a little bit longer. All right, card number two. Let me get my stuff up here. Well, that's what we're going to be featuring. So the only Christmas project I have today is my 3D item at the end. I still have a little bit stickiness on my fingers. Look at these otters. They're utterly adorable. Okay, Utterly Amazing is one of the new online exclusive that went live this last Tuesday. I kept saying, I think in my video, that they were going live on Tuesday, November 4th. Well, Tuesday was November 5th, so they did go live on election day. And so this is cute for, like, I've seen some anniversary cards. You could do some birthdays, even with this year, Utterly Amazing. You could make it into a thank you card. There's a lot of different things that you could use it for. It does have some otters that you can cut out with the dies. The dies are adorable. I can show you those. I don't have them on a card yet, but I still have them in my, oops. There we go. So it has like this little wood log and like a little slide, and you can cut out a couple of the different shapes of the otters. It has some greenery. We're going to be using some of these dies in the card that we're making today. So let's look at this card. This is a fun fold that I use all the time. So I know that you have seen this fun fold before. So it's nothing that's brand new, but I think it's a fun fold to use. So we are using a piece of Pretty Peacock that measures 4¼ by 11. I've scored it at 4¼ and I've scored it at 5½. Yes, this is going to be one of those book fold cards. All right. Then I have a piece of the designer paper. We're going to use this that kind of looks like water, that measures 4 by 4. and I have a piece of basic white that also measures 4 by 4. So one's going to be for the inside, one is going to be for the outside. I have a different piece of the designer paper. Isn't that pretty? It's actually the back side of that. That measures 1 by 4 inches. That's going to be for the side panel of our book fold. All right, that's all I have. I have a piece for my envelope that we can put on, and then I have a scrap for us to stamp our otter that we're going to be using. I did cut out a stylish shapes. This is the second to the largest circle, and it has stitching on it. That's basic white. I cut out a couple of greenery things. So there's 2 different greeneries in there. So I cut one of them, the bigger ones, out with pecan, pretty peacock. This is Lost Lagoon, and I cut 2 of those out. And then there is a greenery that cuts out 2 at a time of these pieces. One goes in one direction, there we go, and one goes in the other direction. So this is Old Olive. I cut 2 of those out. So, and then 2 more for the inside. I have some for the inside and for the outside. And then there were these little fish. And the otter that I'm using looks like he's holding something. His hands are in the center. So I decided to cut out the fish, cut out 2 at a time. But there, I just am going to be using one of them to be putting, I'm going to put that in his hand because it looks like he's supposed to be holding something. All right, let me take this banner off. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our otter. So I'm going to use some Memento ink because I decided I wanted to use my blends to color him in. I could have also cut out the otter from the paper, but honestly, I did this one for a swap and I was like, I'm going to have to use so much of my paper trying to cut out just this one otter that I wanted. So I decided to go ahead and stamp him. Now there is a die that cuts him out, and through the magic of TV, I have that done already for you. All right, so we have that cut out already. We're going to go ahead and color in our little otter. Get this out of the way. So I'm going to bring in my blends here. I have a light pecan pie. I have my 2 crumb cakes. Couldn't decide which one I was going to use. And then I have a little bit of light, I think this is light flirty flamingo. And what I used the light flirty flamingo for is I took the bottom of his feet and I just colored in a little bit of pink there. You're hardly going to see that at all. But when it's close up and you look at it, you're like, oh, his feet are, like not quite the brown color that I did with everything else. All right, I'm going to take I think it was the dark crumb cake. And if this is too dark, oh well. And I'm going to kind of like this whole center part of his belly and his face, I'm going to make that one color. Okay, so I'm going to make that this crumb cake color. And it looks like I used light. So, but that's all right. We're going to make this one just a little bit different. I made these such a long time ago because, like I said, I did it for a swap. I did a little bit different fold than this, but it was kind of the same concept. I had, instead of it opening this way, I had it opening from the top. It's just a little bit different fold. Okay, so we're going to take his belly and kind of make it that color. And then I'm going to take in this darker, the pecan pie, and we're going to do the rest of his body in that. I think I used light crumb cake when I did this the last time. I'll show you my other ones. You can decide which coloring you like better for the otter. I think the light maybe would have been better. But I can always redo it and put a different one on afterwards. So I'll show you both of them and then you can decide which one you like. I'll show it at the end. All of a sudden I was ready to go live and I was like, oh my gosh, I need blends for this because I put all the pieces together. There'd be a little bit more contrast if I used the light crumb cake instead of that darker crumb cake. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and color this in just a little bit more. Whoa, pulled my home marker apart. I must have really pushed that thing on there hard. There we go. There we go. Go ahead and color that in yet. All right, so there's our otter. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So on our circle, we're going to take the greeting that says, "You are utterly amazing." And we're going to stamp that off to the left and kind of up a little bit. So I'm going to go off to the left and not really center, but up on top a little bit. And then on the inside, we're going to stamp the "love you lots." All right, I'm going to go ahead and close up the Pretty Peacock ink because we're finished with that. Now I'm going to set, this is going to go on the center like this. Our otter is going to come on the side. Isn't that cute? And then we're going to be popping these underneath here. So we're going to take and put a couple of these like that. We're going to throw in some of our green ones like that. And we'll have one go over this way. And so I want to find a little spot. There are these little water bubbles that I wanted to also stamp in here. So I'm just kind of getting an idea where to stamp those. This is with Lost Lagoon ink. And I'm just going to stamp it right in there. Okay, you can hardly see that, but see those little bubbles? All right, so let's go ahead and build our card. Put that back. And so our this is going to be on dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and raise that up on dimensionals. And right now I'm only going to put my dimensionals towards the bottom, and I'm going to add my top dimensionals after I tuck everything in. Okay, so this will hold this in place where I want it, but it'll also allow me to take and tuck all those things in with some glue dots so that I can still tuck that in, and then I'll put some dimensionals. I'll sneak them in underneath after I have everything built. So I'm going to go ahead and sneak that in. I can press it down where I want it. Same thing here. I'm going to add a couple of glue dots to this one because a bunch of it's going to be underneath the circle. So those glue dots are not going to show. Just the very top of this is going to show. So I'm going to pop that underneath here. Okay, and then I have my greens, my old olives. I'm going to pop one in this way. And we're going to pop one in the other way. Okay, so that just gave it a little bit of fun there in the corner. And then our otter, we're just going to glue right onto the circle just like that. So it's just going to need some adhesive. And we're going to add him right to the side like that.
So cute.
All right. I probably should have designed or put this all together first, but see how his hands are kind of like just kind of sitting hunched like this? I just thought it needs a little something. So I'm going to take a little wink of Stella and I'm going to add a little bit of wink of Stella to this fish, make him sparkle a little. And I'm just going to put him right inside of the otter's hands like that, like he's holding on to the fish instead of just having his hands kind of hunched like that. Now you could, if you wanted to, there's a stamp that has a whole bunch of swimming fish that you could put in here too. I opted just to keep it a little bit simple with just the greenery on this one.
Everybody's saying what a cute card.
Ah, thanks. Yeah,
Looks
Carol, not I don't, I guess I'm with you, Carol. I do not understand everybody's obsession with otters. I mean, they're cute, right? They're cute little things, but they're all over the place right now, and I just don't get that. I'm not sure how they got to be such a popular little creature. But I think things come and go. This is the second otter set that we've had, because they are so popular. Okay, so that's what the front's going to look like. We're going to add a little bit of stuff yet, but let's put our inside piece together and then we'll come back to the front. So we've got our love you lots. We're just going to add a little bit of this, and I'm going to cut like right about there. And I did have a silicone mat here, and I don't know where it went to, but I'm just going to lightly add a little bit of adhesive to that and just pop it down here.
I love that idea that you're putting the die cuts in the inside. That is really cute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when I made my swap, I did that. Because I was looking for something just to, instead, I didn't want to keep using more designer paper. Because when you have to make 21 of something and you can only buy so much of it as your pre-order as a demonstrator, I was like, okay, I have to be creative of something else on the inside. So I just decided to put a little bit of the greenery on the inside of the card. It just kind of brought what was on the front along into the inside. I don't like where this is sitting. I think I got to move it over a little bit. I don't like it on top of the other one. There we go. That's better. Look too top heavy. Then in this suite of products, you also have this Lost Lagoon soft cording. And when I first saw it, I'm like, what the heck is this? But it is, when they say soft, it is really soft. And it ties really, really nice bows. Look at this. Doesn't take much at all to tie a bow. Look at how fun that is. Don't need a bow jig or anything to be able to tie that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And I'm going to add a glue dot. We're just going to add it up to the corner of that right there. And it just kind of hangs off to the side of the, you can really put it exactly where you want it to be, how much you want it to be seen. You can kind of decide where you want it to hang on there. And then to add the last little piece to it, we have these little, they're called Riverside Irregular Pearls, and they're really iridescent. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's some that have like a blue shading to them and a little bit of a gray and a little bit of a white. So I took the gray one. I have one little gray one that I put over, I took the littlest one of the gray and kind of stuck it over here. And then I took a big one that has a little bit of blue coloring in it and set it right next to it. And then a little blue one I put right up onto the circle with it.
Cute.
So there's our cute little, you're utterly amazing. And then it's our book fold. So it folds over like that. Love you lots. This could be a really cute thank you card, like I said, because somebody's amazing. And so you're thanking them for being whatever they did to make them so amazing. Or you can just be and I love you. I was just thinking yesterday was Grandparents' Day at the high school for my niece, my mom and dad had to go to that. What a cute card to give to a grandchild. You know, you're utterly amazing. Love you
Mhm.
lots. Or to give to a grandparent, either way. So let's make a little designer envelope so that we have a matching envelope to go with this. And I did have one card that I got in my swap that used the otters. I got a lot of them that used the hearts. So I'll maybe try doing something with that next time so that you can see that. And then I'll share some of those swap cards with you. Okay, so we've got our greenery. Well, I have a lot bigger piece than I need. I think I had just grabbed whatever scrap was in my paper. I should have moved that over a little bit more so I wasn't wasting as much. You needed only 6 inches wide, and it was way more than that. Okay, so there is our second card with our otters. Here is the one that I did with the lighter crumb cake, and I do like that better than the darker crumb cake on there. And then this was the swap card that I got from Jan Faring, and this is a fun fold as well. And she uses some of the water or some of the paper that has the otter swimming, and then this is the paper that I used. So she used a couple of different designs, and she didn't color her otter in. She just stamped them in like a pecan pie and used it that way. So there's another example for you. All right, 3D time. Oh, Becky, you have the DSP already for that and you love it. Yeah, I think that the DSP is so cute, especially if you have littler grandkids or you have littler kids and stuff. Um, my nieces and nephews now, well, they're all going to be starting. Oh, I wonder if that would make a cute baby card. My niece is expecting a baby, and that might make a really cute baby card too. All
Mhm.
right, we're on to 3D items. Thank you. Somebody said utterly adorbs. For
Mhm.
some reason, it just says Facebook user and it doesn't tell me a name. So I'll go back and look at those comments on Facebook later because on Facebook, it'll tell me your name. All right, I have to go back to my banners and I just have a couple of dimensions for my 3D items. So last week we made our hot cocoa package and we used this bigger pocket. Today we're going to use the littlest pocket and I'm going to make a 3D item with that. And then next week I'm going to use the middle one and we're going to do a gift card holder for the holidays that uses that one. So this I found from Susan Canfield, who found it from Brenda Quintana online. And so when I did my, Kathy and I did a hang an ornament class, and we paired it with the Take a Bow paper. And so I cut out 2 of these from the Take a Bow paper, or Take a Bow, whatever, however you want to say it. It goes with a bow. Everybody's like debating whether it's bow or bow because it goes with a bow die set. Okay, so I'm cutting out 2 of these and then I'm taking a color that matches it. So this is garden green and this measurement is 5.5 inches long. It's 1 inch wide and I scored it at 2 inches and at 3.5 inches. So it folds and they're going to both fold into each other like so. Okay, so that's going to be sort of the center of my box. And then these are going to go on either side to make my box. All right, and then we're also going to need from that paper, we're going to need to have 3 pieces that measure 3 inches by 1 inch. And that is going to be to decorate I have 2 of them done already. We're going to decorate some Hershey nuggets to go inside of them. Now, if you wanted to use a different pattern, you could, or you could use the same pattern. So how you wrap those is for all of this, I'm going to be using some of our tear and tape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tear and tape on either end of this strip on the back side, the side that I don't want to be seen. Lila just came in here. She's like, "Who are you talking to, Mom?" She probably wants to, go outside for a, what. Can't say that word though. because she'll get all excited and go by the door and want to go right now. All right, so we're gonna take our Hershey nugget. I got a piece of my hair in there. Let's see if I can get that out. That would not be good with food. Okay, I think I have it out. Nope, I don't. I can still see it. There we go. I'm just going to wrap or put that glue down in the back of the nugget. I'm going to wrap it around and then just put that, adhere that in the back. You do have to have a stickier glue for this, otherwise it'll come off. All right. You want Lila on camera? We'll do that at the end if she's still in here. She's kind of off to the side here. All right, now to put our little box or gift bag for our nuggets together, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on. This is just going to go like this. So this is going to go like that, and then those are going to go on there. So the adhesive has to go on the side that you want showing. And you don't want to, just like with the hot cocoa, this gets slanted here. You want to kind of look at where the straight edge is, and you only want to go up to the straight edge on each part. So they're
okay. There's a question, Sarah. They're asking if the dies are an online exclusive.
No, they are in the annual catalog.
Pocket Thoughts on page 62.
Thank you. They come with the stamp set. I don't have the stamp set. I just bought the dies because I thought that there would be so many things that you could do with these dies. And you know what? I bought them when it was in my very first order when I placed an order with the annual catalog. But I haven't used them until all of a sudden I started seeing all these things. And I'm like, that's what I thought when I bought these, that there was going to be a lot of creative people that were going to come up with things with these. And I had to have them. So, all right. So you are going to want to, and I have already burnished this pretty well on all of the sides. And I should let you know that you can also make it with, if you wanted to cut out cardstock to make it a little bit firmer or like a sturdier, you could cut this out with cardstock and then you could put designer paper over the top. So that's what I did with this one. I used real red and I used all cardstock, and then I just cut around where these score lines are and put the front on each side. So it's entirely up to you. I'm only putting these little Hershey nuggets in there. There's nothing really heavy that I have to put in here. So I decided just to use the DSP. So we're going to start with the bottom on this. We're going to pull off and we're going to line up these score lines right here with the score lines that are on my paper. And then that's going to go right up to the edge. And I'm going to push that down so that it lines up. So this score line and the edge of my paper have to line up. And these score lines match up with the score lines on the side. I'll hold that up a little closer so you can see that. So these line up, those line up, and this lines up with the edge. So it's going to pop up like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this other one. We're going to take this off. And I'm going to line this score line up with the edge and these two score lines up with the score lines that are on there. Okay, then I'm going to work on one side at a time. I didn't have this go up far enough. Let's, where did I put it? Here it is. I said, make sure you don't go all the way up to the edge, but I fell way short on this side right here. Just going to add one little piece there. Okay, and you can use take your pick tool to take this stuff off. I'm going to work with one side at a time. It's a little bit easier. And I'm going to line up this score line right here with the edge of this piece of paper. So I'm just going to go right up to that and line it up and do the same thing over here. So there's my score line, line it up with the edge and press that. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side.
Julie made a comment that she had to order those dies after seeing your cocoa packet that you made last week.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I thought that it was so easy to make those. And I loved the that she used it also to put her plasticware in for her
Mhm.
table. And it was so
Yep.
pretty. Okay, so these will just pop right, get them in the right way here. Come on. Keeps wanting to go sideways. There we go. 1, 2, 3 of them perfectly. Okay, but I wanted to make this into so it looks like a little gift bag. And so I'm going to take, these are about, let's see, how long did I cut these? 9, 10, about 3 1/4 inches. I cut them. And I'm just going to take some glue dots. And I'm going to put glue dots on either end of them. And I'm just going to go from one side. No, I don't want it that way. I want it this way. Wait, do I want it that way? Which way do I want this to go? I want it to go this way, the other way. Redo. Put another glue dot on here. I lost it. We're going to go from this side to this side.
So cute.
All right, and then I'm going to take another one. We're just going to make a little handle. I make it a little shopping bag filled with our little Hershey nuggets. Yeah, Karen, it really is simple.
Mhm.
All right, and then you can decorate it however you would like. So when Kathy and I did our class, it was the hang and ornament. I just want to make these so that they're about the same. There we go. It was hang and ornament is what we used. So I did this already, and all I did was I took, so the color that's in here is Granny Apple Green. So I stamped my ornament with garden green, and I cut out some of that garden green glimmer paper to add a little glimmer behind that. I wanted to bring in the gold ribbon that I had here, and I did a little gold hook, and I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of that and kind of towards the middle because it is going to hang off just a little bit. The one that Susan Campfield made had used the reindeer um, and used I think the same paper, but she used the reindeer. Let me put my nuggets back in here. And I'm just going to put this on the front of it. And there I have a cute little gift that I can give away that just has 3 little Hershey nuggets in it, but look at that cute little box that or little shopping bag that it's in, and they can reuse that. So you can decorate them pretty much however you want, or you can just use the designer paper and put a label on it that says, you know, treat for you, or you know what I mean? You could don't even have to put anything on the front if you don't want to. They're just kind of cute. And you don't really even have to put the handle on, or you could just put one handle on if you wanted to instead of the 2 like I did. So just a cute little idea for the holidays.
Cute for little
All right.
coworker Secret Santa type gifts too.
Exactly. Like to put those on a little your coworker's desk or
Mhm.
something. The same thing with the hot cocoa mix. It's like, okay, hot cocoa mix doesn't cost all that much. Even it's probably more expensive than it used to be, but but you know what I mean. It's not like having to go buy something really expensive or a little bag of Hershey nuggets and wrapping the little nuggets and putting them in there to match is kind of cute. So we've got that. We have our online exclusive of the otters, and we have our kind of birthday remix of our Christmas reindeer, but we made them into just a little buck for a masculine card. So
Cute.
let me come and we'll go back to all of us. There's Kathy again. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I am going to have to be a little bit later next week. I am going to be coming on about 12:30 in the afternoon because I have a card buffet in the morning. So um, Melanie wants Hershey nuggets. I know. I have to just, when I buy a bag for projects like this, I have to make sure that I don't eat half of them because they're
Like
in my
I did.
house. I got to make sure that I don't eat them all. So I will be 12:30 next week. I will make sure that I give you a notice of that. For those of you that were on Facebook watching today, I'm glad that you were able to join us on Facebook and you were able to add to the comments. I'm sorry, I didn't know that I wasn't going to be able to know who you were. It just, for me, it just says Facebook user, but I will definitely go back
Yeah.
to Facebook and look to
Mhm.
see who the
Yeah.
person was that made the
Yep.
comments. And your comments there will also be entered into my drawing every week. So no need to fear about that. I always go to Facebook and grab those as well. So
I think somebody had asked about when our next class was. We didn't. I don't think we
when
discussed
we're going
it.
to do ours next one,
Yeah.
well, we're probably going to do something probably for Valentine's Day coming
Yep.
up. We did talk
Mhm.
about doing, and if there's interest, let us know. We talked about maybe doing a class in December that would be thank you notes for, like, it would be a whole, like, you would get 4 designs and you would make 2 of each. So you'd have 8 thank you
Mhm.
notes that were winter, because after the holidays, that's something that has to go out, is all those thank yous. So to get you ahead on making some thank you notes, we thought about doing that. If you think that's a class that would be of interest to you, put that in the comments, because then we'll get that started.
Yeah.
Both
Let
of
us
us,
know
we've
what
been
you want.
working on our Christmas camp, and between that and both of us having a buffet this month, and both of us working and having crazy schedules, we've kind of just yeah, we've just kind of been crazy. We don't have anything really planned right now, but we have to get on that.
Yep. We do.
All right. Anyone else have comments? Thank you, class would be cool, Amanda's saying.
Mhm.
Thank you notes, Debbie. Yes.
Yep.
How much is the class? It always varies. A lot, well, it depends on how much product we give you. So normally we pick some designer paper and some, maybe like a ribbon and some gems, and we package that with a PDF on how to put the cards together. And we cut all the card stock for you, and we give you the envelopes to put in them. But then you cut your designer paper that you're given, and you cut your ribbon, and you use your gems however you want to, and then you put together the cards. But you always have extra designer paper left that you can make more cards with. It, you have more ribbon left that you can use at your own discretion, but they always vary in cost based on what product that we use. I think our last one was $35 if you got just the designer paper with the cardstock cut with the ribbon and the gems. And then if you want to add the stamp set that we use onto it,
Mhm.
you have that at added expense. So like the hang and ornament wasn't a very expensive stamp set. So if you bought the stamp set, the bundle along with the rest of the kit, it ended up being $70. And that includes us shipping it to you as well. And we always include a little gift like this little thing that we made for you as a way to thank you for buying our class. So, any other questions? Oh, Ella says count me in. Yeah, and those can be anywhere. We can send those anywhere in the United States. Not in another country, but in the United States we can send those anywhere. So, we'll probably, Kathy, will have to get together
Yeah.
when we find some time and we'll plan
Definitely.
that
Yep.
and get that out to you as soon as we can. Looks like there's enough interest in some thank you notes. So,
Mhm. Yep. Sounds
did
good.
we get all the questions? I think so.
Yep. I think we did.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me, Kathy.
Yep.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Somebody just, I don't know who's on Facebook, still would like to learn the wedding cake style card.
The wedding cake style card. Hmm.
Oh, Melanie Foy is asking that.
Okay. The wedding cake style card. Can you give me a little more information on that, Melanie? I'm not quite sure.
I know there's that new, don't we have a new online exclusive with that
We
like
do.
birthday?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
some right here, like this cake thing, this one. making it a wedding cake. Here, let me make me bigger here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So that's the cake, and you could make it into a wedding cake. And I know somebody in the demonstrator planning place. Okay. We'll figure it out. I do have some calendars, and I'm thinking maybe one of the weeks I will do a calendar card as an example of how to do that. A pop-up one.
Pop-up one.
I'll have to look to see. Are you thinking the card that it wasn't a wedding cake. It was Mary did it last week and it popped up and it was a card that she had given to me. It had fall stuff on it. So I'm not sure. We'll have to send me a private message, Melanie, with a description or something, and I'll see what we can do. All right.
Perfect.
I think everybody's probably ready to get to their own crafting now, right? I know I have some stuff I have to get done. So thank you so much for joining me. Thanks again, Kathy, for helping with all of the questions and watching my comments for me today. And I will be back again next week, 12:30, and watch for a class coming up. Maybe I'll be able to have an announcement on that next week when we're together on what it's going to be. So awesome. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.